The question says, you already know some basic information about the transfer of thermal energy, known as heat. Which statements correctly describe the properties of heat? Select all that apply. We're going to read these statements وهنختار كل العبارات اللي بتوصف ال properties أو خصائص الهيت. Let's start. Letter A, heat is an essential component of life on Earth. What do you think of this statement? We know that all living organisms can't live without heat. And sunlight or sun is the main source of energy and the main source of thermal energy for all living organisms. So we can't live without heat. So I think this is a correct sentence. I'm going to select it. Let's read the second one. Heat is energy that flows from one object to another one. What do you think? Does heat flow? We know that heat is the transfer of thermal energy from one object to another object. As we said before, from higher temperature object to lower temperature object. So this statement is right because heat transfers from one object to another object. Let's read the third one. Heat flows from a hotter object to a colder one. What do you think? What happens when you touch a cup of hot water? After a while, you start to feel hot. That's why. This is because the heat transferred from the cup of water, which is higher in temperature, to your hand, which is lower in temperature. So this statement is right or correct because heat flows from hotter object, which is higher in temperature, to the colder one, which is lower in temperature. So I'm going to select it. The next statement, the more heat is transferred to an object, the slower its molecules move. What do you think of this statement? Do you remember what happens to the metals when we increase their temperature? What happens? When we increase their temperature, the thermal energy of molecules increases. And when thermal energy of molecules increases, their motion starts to increase. So, the more heat is transferred to an object, the slower its molecule move. So this is not a correct statement. Let's read the next one. Water freezes at 32 Celsius. Do you think this is a right statement? Do you remember our interactive? When we saw that water freezes at 0 Celsius? So this is not a right answer. Let's move to the next one. Heat is a type of matter. Do you remember matter from primary 5? We know that matter is anything that has mass and volume. And we also know that heat, light, and sounds are not matter. They are energy. So this is not the correct statement. Let's move to the last one. Heat can't be lost, only transferred. Heat, we know that heat is energy. So question says, heat energy can't be lost, only transferred. Do you remember primary 4 when we studied the conservation of energy? Energy can't be created nor destroyed, but it can change or transfer from one form to another. So this statement is right.
تقدر تتابع كل دروسك على تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، المستقبل يبدأ الآن.